Again, everybody, this is Derek, and I'm coming at you with another Wargaming and miniature video. In today's video, we're going to continue on with our What's in the Box series. And in today's What's in the Box, we're going to be focusing on the Panzer IV tank platoon for Flames of War, which is by Battlefront Miniatures. This box here is the Panzer IV. It looks like these are the Panzer IV H's. It does say late war, and it has a sticker on here that says the SS cards are also included. Okay, so just looking at the box, let's go ahead and remove this plastic. All right, we got the plastic off. This says Panzer IV 75. You get a Take Commander sprue, a decal sheet, and 3 unit cards. We're probably going to get an additional card with the SS. I'm guessing. It looks like it's fairly straightforward to put together. There is a couple of optional parts here. It looks like those are like tracks that are placed in the front to give it additional armor. Just looking at the models on the cover, it looks like the tank has a Zimmerit coating, the anti-magnetic mine coating. Yeah, and on the box it's showing one of the commanders sticking way out, and then another commander just barely poking his head over the door. Okay, so let's go ahead and open it up, and let's take a look and see exactly what you get in one of these boxes. Well, you do get a lot of sprue. Okay. Alright, let's set that off to the side, getting it out of our way. There was some bubble wrap to make sure it didn't move around inside the packaging. Now there's a variety of different sprues that we'll get to in a minute. And then there's the cards and the decals we'll get to in just a minute. Okay. And there's the Tank Commander sprues sprue in a Ziploc. Okay. So this would be the tracks and the upper hull. And you get 5 of those. And then the lower hull, the turret, and the skirts. You also get the barrel and a few additional other pieces. But we're just going to of course, you get 5 of those sprues as well. So when we zoom in, we're only going to look at one of these and one of these. Because the rest are all exactly the same. All right. Now, these tanks are made for a game called Flames of War, which is a 15mm or 1/100 scale miniature game. And there's a number of cards in here. Okay, well, you get your decals. Looks like this one decal here is damage. That would have been 100, and this would have been 101. Hard to tell. But the 111, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are all intact. It looks like it has Panzer Lehr. I'm not sure what division that is. 21st, maybe? I don't know what divisions those are. That's 2nd Panzer, I do believe. So these would be great for the Battle of the Bulge. Yeah, there's a lot of cards here. Okay. Well, the first card is, it says D-Day Waffen SS. This, I believe, is a company card, or what they call a force card. And if you're building an army of D-Day Waffen SS, you would kind of use this card as a guide. And back here it tells you what kind of units you can have in your formation. 0 to 1 Jagdpanzers, 0 to 1 88s, 105s, Panzer IIIs, Scouts, all of that. And this just says support units. So this must be the formations. You could have a Tiger Company, a Panther Company, Panzer IV Company, you know, Panzer Grenadiers, Stugs, all that good stuff. Okay, well that's that. I'm not sure. Here's another card. This is called just the D-Day Germans. It's pretty much the same thing. You have a beach defense, Fallschirmjäger Company, or Panzer IV Company, which is what we're dealing with here. Panzer Jaegers, Fallschirmjäger Stugs, and then various different types of support units that you can add into your force. I'm going to try to organize these. There we go. Flipped them. Yeah, so these are your standard German Panzer IV. You got the tank company headquarters, which has 2 panzers, right? And then you've got your platoons, which could have 3, 4, or 5 panzers. So if you wanted, you could take 2 of these and make them your Panzer IV company headquarters, and then the other 3 could be the 3 tank platoon. All right. And it doesn't say Panzer IV-H or anything. It just says Panzer IV. Okay. Now here's the Panzer IV SS. You can see there's got the little SS in the corners. This is the company headquarters. Yeah, notice the company headquarters has a little wreath around it. Different pictures. Same tanks. Same thing. 2 tanks can be in a company headquarters, or 3 tanks, all the way up to 5 tanks for a platoon. Now this says bazooka skirts. Okay, those have it as well. That would be these skirts on the outside. And if you get a tank company, it tells you what you need in the tank company. You need the company headquarters, obviously. You need between 1 and 2 tank platoons, so you could get away with that tank platoon with only 3. And then the next one says Panzer IV tank platoon or Panther or Tiger. So you would need to get another box of Panzer IVs or Panthers or Tigers. And then the last one says you have to get more Panzer IVs or Stugs. And then 0 to 1 AAA. Okay, so this is just the start towards a company. Now, I don't personally play Flames of War. I play a game called Battle Group, and the way they organize their armies or their forces and points are done a little bit differently than Flames of War. Historically, they're pretty much the same because history is history, but the way you go about building your force is done a little bit differently. All right, now before we zoom in and take a look at these sprues, I want to just kind of generally look it over. Okay, so you got a couple of these skirt brackets for mounting to the hull. The hull automatically comes with these little triangular skirt, I don't know what you'd call them, brackets, mounts. And if you don't want to put a skirt on, you can put one of these mounts on instead, implying that the skirts are no longer present, just the mount. Also, you'll notice that these are immaculate. These top two are like in perfect condition, but the bottom two are a little offset, hanging off. They're damaged or, been knocked around a little bit. However you want, whichever, you can put one good one on the left and one bad one on the right, or however you want to do it. And then same thing with the turret. It's got little mounts or little brackets that you put these skirts on the side. And you can see it's got Zimmerit coating on your hull. And there's the couple extra tracks to be put on as additional armor. Okay, so we'll zoom in and take a look at that in just a minute. And then you also have these tracks. They do the whole side of the tank in one piece, which I love because I hate having to glue little individual bogey wheels on, and I hate having to glue tracks on. And when we get in close, you'll get a chance to see that they even simulate the sag in the track as it lays on the bogey wheels. That's awesome. You got a closed and an open turret. Not a turret, like a cupola. All right, so let me adjust the camera a little bit, and then we'll take a look close at these figures, and you get to see what the model is actually looking like. All right, so we're going to take a look at the tracks first. Where are they at? There they are. That way you can kind of see, and you can see the sag in the upper track. I think that's awesome. Everything looks really good. And there's the lower high detail, in my opinion. Those are excellent. And then that's the upper hull. Here, let's just turn it sideways. You might be able to see it better. And you can see the brackets or the mounts. Little extra bogey wheels on the side there. And you can see a little bit of the Zimmerit. And then there's just some pieces and parts here to assemble. There's the machine gun. There's the cupola. Now that thing in the middle is a pin that you would put on the bottom of the turret to stick into the hull. But I use magnets, so I never use that pin. And then this is the hull turret and skirts. Let's take a look at the hull first. This is the lower hull. Let's look at the underside. Yeah, it uses a one giant square. On the other side, you got the two small pins so that when you go to put the tracks on, you'll see that there's either the one giant square or there's the two little pins. And those fit, that keeps you from putting the tracks on backwards. The inside of the skirts are worth noting. You got the guide poles, but you also have the frame that goes across right there. If you don't want to use skirts, you could just use an empty frame like this. You'll notice these two are in perfect condition, and then you start to get damage. You see how this plate is off center, a little bit misplaced. Yeah. On your hull, you got that Zimmerit coating, tools and accessories. And then there's the turret. You can see it needs, you would put your skirts, which are located right there. You have to glue them on the edge. And then this is the underside of the turret. And luckily, Flames of War models are made with magnets in mind, because a magnet would fit right down inside of that. And then it would, and then on your turret, on your hull, a magnet would fit right down inside there as well, and they would sit flush. There's your gun barrel. There's the extra tracks. The back of the hull and the front under hull right there, because this hull has a big opening right there. And this is the Tank Commander sprue. Looks like this is the back side of all the Tank Commanders. Let's flip it over. Like this guy's talking on the radio. Guy just barely poking his heads out. And then you have where are we at? There we go. Another guy. And then guy with binoculars and waving. Alright guys, well that was the Panzer IV tank platoon. These are actually Panzer IV H's. You get 5 of them in this box, and now they've started adding the SS cards into the boxes. Thanks for coming out and watching this. If you want to see more videos like that, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And also go visit my eBay store at this address right here so that you can maybe look at some of the other models that I have on there that are already painted, or if you have any commissions that you'd like me to do, if you've got an army that needs to be painted or something like that, drop me an email at that email address right there, where I would be glad to send you a message back letting you know what my prices are. All right, I'll catch you in the next one.